A man in Moncton, New Brunswick has paid H&R Block $189 to file his taxes every single year for 14 years. His tax situation has not changed meaningfully in over a decade. He has employment income from one employer. He has an RRSP contribution. He has a small charitable donation. That is it. One T4, one RRSP receipt, one donation receipt. He pays $189 every February to have someone enter 3 numbers into software and click submit. Over 14 years, that is $2,646 for a task that takes 25 minutes and that the federal government has made available at zero cost through multiple free channels that his tax preparer, his bank, and every financial institution he has ever dealt with has had no incentive to tell him about. Last year, his daughter, home from university, sat down with him for 20 minutes on a Wednesday evening. She filed his return using a free CRA-certified software. She found a credit he had been missing for 3 years. His refund was $340 larger than the previous year. The total cost of filing was $0. He called H&R Block to cancel his appointment for this year. He did not know free filing existed. His bank did not tell him. His tax preparer did not tell him. The CRA's own website buries the free filing options under layers of navigation that most people give up on before finding them. That is not a design flaw. That is a design choice. To understand why so many Canadians are paying for something that is available for free, you need to understand how the paid tax preparation industry positioned itself and how the federal government's own communication failures enabled that positioning. Filing an income tax return in Canada has been a legal obligation for most adults since the Modern Income Tax Act came into force in 1948. In the early decades, paper returns were standard. The forms were complex. The calculations required arithmetic. Professional tax preparers provided genuine value by doing work that was genuinely difficult for most people to do accurately on their own. Then 2 things happened simultaneously, and they changed the value equation completely, without changing a price. Tax preparation software automated the complexity entirely. By the early 2000s, tax preparation software had reduced the act of filing a simple Canadian tax return to a series of data entry prompts followed by a submit button. The software does the arithmetic. The software identifies applicable credits. The software generates the return. The professional expertise that justified the fee in 1975 was replaced by a database and a processor. The human in the transaction became a data entry operator. And the CRA built free filing infrastructure that the paid industry has consistently worked to obscure. The NetFile system, the CRA's electronic filing protocol, allows any CRA-certified software to submit returns directly to the CRA at no government charge. The certification process is open to any software provider. Free software that meets the CRA's technical standards can be certified and can file returns with identical legal standing to returns filed by paid preparers using paid software. The CRA does not charge for NetFile. The CRA does not prefer paid returns. A return filed through free certified software is processed identically to a return filed through a $400 accounting engagement. The paid tax preparation industry's survival in this environment depends on one thing: ensuring that the majority of Canadian filers do not know the free alternatives exist or believe they are inadequate. They have been extraordinarily successful at this. 14 years of $189 payments from a man in Moncton with one T4 is the outcome of that success. Today that ends. Let's start with the program that provides the highest level of hands-on assistance to the widest range of eligible Canadians. Because for anyone who is uncomfortable filing on their own, this is the option that eliminates every barrier simultaneously. The Community Volunteer Income Tax Program, the CVIP, is a federal program administered by the CRA that funds and coordinates free tax preparation clinics across Canada. These clinics are staffed by trained volunteers, individuals who have completed the CRA's volunteer training program and who are certified to prepare and file returns. CVIP clinics are not staffed by amateurs with basic knowledge. They are staffed by volunteers who have completed structured training on Canadian tax credits, deductions, and filing requirements, training developed and maintained by the CRA itself. The volunteers use CRA-certified software. The returns they file go through NetFile exactly as a paid preparer's return would. The legal standing is identical. Who is eligible for CVIP clinic assistance? The program targets individuals with modest income and simple tax situations. The CRA's eligibility guidelines for CFIP define modest income as approximately $35,000 or less for a single individual, $45,000 or less for a couple, with additional thresholds for families with children. Simple tax situation means the return does not involve business income requiring a full financial statement. Rental income with expenses, capital gains from the disposition of property, or employment expenses requiring AT 2200. A return with employment income, pension income, investment income from AT5, RRSP contributions, and standard credits qualifies as simple for CFIP purposes. The majority of low and modest income Canadian filers have simple returns under this definition. Students, part-time workers, seniors on fixed incomes, newcomers to Canada. The demographic that is most likely to be paying for tax preparation they cannot afford is precisely the demographic the CFIP was designed to serve. Where do you find a CFIP clinic? The CRA maintains a searchable clinic locator at canada.ca, Search Community Volunteer Income Tax Program. Clinics operate between February and April of each year, the core tax filing season. Some clinics operate in person at community centers, libraries, and social service offices. Others operate virtually. You submit your documents digitally, and a volunteer prepares your return remotely. The virtual clinics expanded significantly during and after the pandemic, and have made CFIP access available to Canadians in rural and remote communities who previously had no nearby clinic. What do you bring to a CFIP clinic? Your SIN, all T-slips, T4 employment income slips, T4A pension and other income slips, T4E employment insurance slips, T4 OAS and T4AP, slips for OAS and CPP, T5 investment income slips, T3 trust income slips, RRSP contribution receipts, donation receipts, medical expense receipts if claiming the medical expense tax credit, rent receipts or property tax statements if claiming provincial credits, your prior year notice of assessment. The volunteer reviews your documents, enters them into the software, identifies applicable credits, prepares the return, reviews it with you, and files it through NetFile. The appointment takes 30 to 60 minutes for most simple returns. The cost is zero. If you have been paying for tax preparation and your income is below $35,000 as a single individual, you should be using a CFIP clinic. Book your appointment for next February. The clinics fill up. Early booking gives you priority access. For Canadians who are comfortable filing their own return, the free certified software landscape is more robust than most know. The CRA maintains a list of certified software products on its website, software that has passed the CRA's technical certification requirements. The list includes dozens of products. A significant number of them are available at no cost for some or all Canadian filers. Let me walk through the major free options specifically. Wealthsimple Tax, formerly Simple Tax, is a fully web-based tax filing platform that is free for all Canadian filers with no income ceiling and no feature restrictions. You pay what you want. The platform suggests a voluntary contribution but does not require one. Wealthsimple Tax supports a comprehensive range of credits: RRSP contributions, medical expenses, charitable donations, tuition credits, capital gains, rental income, and self-employment income with business expenses. It is not a stripped-down basic product. The platform uses a question-and-answer interview format that guides you through your return without requiring knowledge of specific line numbers. It automatically identifies applicable credits based on your answers. It imports T-slips directly from the CRA's database if you provide authorization. TurboTax, owned by Intuit, offers a free version of its Canadian platform for filers with simple returns. The free version handles employment income and most standard credits. It does not support all situations. Business income, rental income, and some more complex scenarios require a paid upgrade. For filers with straightforward employment income, it is a viable zero-cost option. H&R Block, the same company that charges $189 for in-person preparation, offers a free online filing product for simple returns. The online product handles employment income and standard credits at no charge. The irony is complete. The company that has collected billions of dollars from Canadian filers makes a free online version available that handles the majority of those filings. They do not advertise it prominently. GenuTax is a free downloadable Windows application that supports a wide range of tax situations, including self-employment, rental income, and investment income. It has been available for over 15 years. It is not as visually polished as Wealthsimple Tax or TurboTax, but it handles complex returns at zero cost and has a strong user community. CloudTax offers a free web-based filing platform for simple returns, employment income, pension income, and standard credits, with paid tiers for more complex situations. The CRA-certified software list is updated annually. Before paying for any tax software, check canada.ca for the current certified software list and verify whether a free version is available. This section is about a specific CRA feature that most Canadians who file their own returns have never used, and that makes the case for paying a preparer nearly impossible to sustain. Autofill My Return, AFR, is a CRA service that automatically imports your tax information directly from the CRA's database into your return. Your T4 slips, your T4A slips, your T5 slips, your RRSP contribution room, all of it pulled directly from the CRA systems into your return with a single authorization. To use AFR, you need a MyCRA account. You connect your certified software to your CRA account through a secure authorization process. The software requests access to your tax data. You authorize it. The software populates your return with the information the CRA already has on file. The practical impact is that the data entry portion is reduced to verifying that the auto-filled amounts are correct. The total time for a straightforward return using AFR is often 15 to 25 minutes. What the paid tax preparer does in $189 worth of appointment time is largely what AFR does in 30 seconds. They connect to the CRA's data. They import your slips. They enter your RRSP and donation amounts. They submit. The expertise differential between a paid H&R Block preparer handling a simple T4 return and a first-time filer using Wealthsimple Tax with AFR is essentially zero for that category of return. The AFR service becomes available each tax season, typically in late February, once the CRA has received and processed the T-slip information from employers and financial institutions. After that date, using AFR is the single most efficient way to populate a straightforward Canadian return. If you have never used AFR, set up MyCRA account tonight. It takes 20 minutes and requires your SGIN, your date of birth, and a line from a prior year return for identity verification. Once your account is established, every future filing year can use AFR. The data entry problem, the primary reason most people cite for using a paid preparer, is solved permanently. Beyond a CFIP and free certified software, the CRA operates a third free filing channel that is the simplest of all. File My Return is a CRA service that allows eligible Canadians to file their annual tax return by answering a series of automated telephone questions, with no software, no forms, no data entry. The service is available in English and French. It takes approximately 10 minutes to complete. It is entirely free. Who is eligible for File My Return? The service targets Canadians with low or fixed income whose tax situation has not changed significantly from the prior year, typically seniors on OAS and GIS. The CRA invites eligible individuals by mail each year. The invitation letter contains a unique access code that authorizes the phone filing. Without the invitation letter, you cannot use File My Return. If you receive a File My Return invitation letter from the CRA, use it. For the target population, the 10-minute phone call produces a complete, filed return with no cost. If you know a senior or low-income individual who receives a CRA invitation letter each year and has been setting it aside, help them make the call. 10 minutes. Free. Legal. Complete. This section is about the specific claim the paid tax preparation industry makes to justify its fees, and why that claim collapses on examination for the majority of Canadian filers. The claim is expertise. Paid preparers position their value as the expert knowledge required to ensure your return is accurate and maximizes your refund. The implication is that without professional involvement, you will miss credits. For complex returns, business income with detailed expense tracking, multiple rental properties, foreign income, trusts, corporate structures, this claim has merit. These situations involve genuine complexity. Nobody in this video is suggesting that a self-employed business owner with multiple revenue streams should file their own return using free software without professional guidance. But complex returns represent a minority of Canadian filers. The CRA's own data shows that the majority of Canadian individual tax returns involve employment income, pension income, and standard credits. These returns do not benefit from professional expertise in any meaningful way. They benefit from accurate data entry and complete credit screening, both of which free software performs as well as or better. The specific credits that paid preparers claim to find, credits that free software misses, are largely a myth for simple returns. Wealthsimple Tax's credit screening is comprehensive. It asks about medical expenses, caregiving, disability, tuition, moving expenses, home office, and every other major credit category. It does not miss credits because it is free. It misses credits because you did not tell it about them. The audit risk differential between a return filed through free software and a return filed by a paid preparer is zero. The CRA does not know or care whether your return was prepared by H&R Block or by you. It knows whether the return is accurate. Accuracy is a function of the information entered, not the channel through which it was filed. The upsell features that paid software and paid preparers charge for, audit protection, refund guarantees, are margin products. Audit protection for a simple T4 return is insurance against a very low probability event. Paying for audit protection on that return is paying for peace of mind that the underlying facts have already provided for free. This section exists because the answer is not always no. Providing a complete picture requires being honest about the situations where professional involvement is genuinely valuable. You likely do not need a paid preparer if your return involves standard income, employment income from one or two employers, pension income, OAS and CPP, basic investment income from AT5 or T3, RRSP and TFSA contributions, standard credits including medical expenses and charitable donations, tuition credits, and provincial credits applicable to your situation. This describes the majority of Canadian individual filers. You may benefit from professional guidance if your return involves self-employment income with significant business expenses, rental income with capital cost allowance, capital gains and losses from the disposition of securities or real property, foreign income and foreign tax credits, stock options, and significant carry-forward amounts from prior year losses. And the first year of a major life event, divorce, death of a spouse, major asset sale, that has complex tax implications. You should engage a professional if your return involves corporate tax filings, trust income, large capital transactions, tax planning around significant asset transfers, or any situation where the financial stakes of an error are large enough that the cost is justified by the risk reduction. The honest assessment is that most Canadians who are paying for tax preparation do not fall into the second or third category. They fall into the first, simple returns, and they are paying for a service they do not need. Know which category you are in. File freely if you are in the first. Invest in professional guidance if you are genuinely in the second or third. Here is exactly what to do. Assess your return complexity. Pull your prior year notice of assessment and your T-slip package from last year. List every income source and every credit you claimed. If the list contains only employment income, pension income, basic investment income, or RSP contributions, you have a simple return. Free filing is appropriate and complete for your situation. Set up my CRA account tonight. Go to canada.ca and register for my CRA account. You need your SGIN, date of birth, and a line from a prior year return. Once registered, you can use Autofill My Return. Try Wealthsimple Tax for your next return. Create an account. Connect to your CRA account for Autofill My Return. Walk through the interview. The platform will guide you through every applicable credit and deduction. Find your nearest CFIP clinic if you are eligible. If your income is below the CFIP threshold and you prefer in-person assistance, find your nearest clinic at canada.ca. Book early. February and March appointments fill quickly. Watch for the File My Return invitation. If you are a low-income senior or social assistance recipient, the 10-minute phone call is the simplest tax filing option available in Canada, and it is free. Cancel your paid tax preparation appointment if your return is simple. Call H&R Block. Ask them specifically what they do for your return that free software cannot do. If the answer is /, enter your T4 /, cancel the appointment. Tell someone. The man in Moncton found out about free filing from his daughter. Not from the CRA, not from his bank, Not from his tax preparer, from a conversation with someone who knew. Every person you tell about CFIP clinics, about Wealthsimple Tax, about autofill my return, is a person whose $189 stays in their pocket next February. The free filing infrastructure exists. The CRA built it. It is certified, legal, accurate, and available to the majority of Canadian filers right now. The only thing standing between most Canadians and it is the belief that it does not exist. That belief ends today. The man in Moncton will not pay $189 this February. He will sit down with his daughter's laptop, open Wealthsimple Tax, connect his My CRA account, and file his return in 22 minutes. His refund will arrive in 8 business days. He paid $2,646 over 14 years to have someone do that for him, not because the service was worth it, because he did not know the alternative existed. He knows now, so do you. If you know someone who is paying for tax preparation they do not need, this is the conversation to have with them before February. The CFIP Clinic Locator is on the CRA website. Wealthsimple Tax is free. The paid industry is counting on the conversation never happening. Have it anyway.